Hi, this is Susanna Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life. And we are on week 31, day 3 of our positive, peaceful affirmations that we are doing every day, Monday through Friday. We are following Dr. Susan Lawton's book, Positive Peaceful Growth Calendar, that you could buy at Aroma Tools or Oil Life. If you love positive affirmations, and who doesn't love them? Who doesn't love to be thinking about better ways of being, right? And if you love music therapy and you love aromatherapy, I think you're gonna really love this book, because for me it's the perfect combination of all three of those elements. The affirmation that we're working on the entire week is I am discovering more humor. And I think we all love people around us who have good senses of humor, people who don't get upset easily, people who don't get offended easily. I think that we love people who can see the brighter side of life, the lighter side of life. And all of that goes into having a good sense of humor. It's just not someone who can crack jokes. Although making people laugh and cracking jokes is an element of having a good sense of humor. So, I hope that whatever it is that you're doing to discover more humor, that it's enriching your life, that it's bringing joy into your life and helping you see things with better perspective. As we are able to laugh at things, things don't seem as bad. And the mountains that we used to see might come back down to the molehills that are very easily manageable. So, I hope that you're able to find humor in your life. Yesterday, I just Googled Christian humor because I wanted something that was family friendly, and I found something. I'll go ahead and put it in a link in the comments. I have to admit that I kind of fell asleep watching it, so I didn't watch it to the end. But what I did watch was fun and made me smile. And as we were watching it, kind of lying in bed together, my husband was just laughing. So I love that I was able to turn on something that made my husband laugh, right? And my little boy, who was 11, was also kind of watching it with us for a little while. So I think that all of us, no matter how old or how young you are, we all appreciate the lighter side, the more humorous side, the more silly side of life. So if you're good at finding, at developing your humor, or at finding good humor, I hope that you will put your sources in the comments as well so we can learn from you. The affirmation for this entire week is, I often turn things upside down to look at them differently. Now, as we're talking about turning things upside down to look at things differently, like that's what humor does, right? I don't know. Have you ever been like sad that you had some problem, and then you talk to your best friend about it and you guys end up laughing over it, and it just doesn't seem so bad anymore, right? It's because humor helps us put things in a different perspective. It helps us think to ourselves, I can handle this. I can handle this. And so I hope that you do have those sources in your circles, in your support circles, of people that you can tell your problems to. Sometimes just telling people a problem really makes it more manageable. Why? Because we get the added perspective. Like when we're just talking to ourselves about our problems, it's one thing, but when we hear ourselves talking about our problems, sometimes we're able to see things that we haven't seen before, right? And then the other person that we're telling our problems to might have some ideas on some solutions. And so all of that, I guess what I'm saying is don't give up. Don't give up if the problems in your life seem hard or are making you sad. It's not the time. It's not the time to give up. It's the time to reach out. To reach out to others for help. To reach out to maybe other people for help, or other things like humor for distraction and different points of view, to just reach out. So again, if you're going through hard things, please reach out. Okay. Here's some different ways that, so again, the affirmation for the day is, I often turn things upside down to look at them differently. Okay. So I'm going to give you a few situations where we can look at things differently. So let's just say that someone has done something. Let's say that someone that you found out that all your friends got invited to a birthday party, but you didn't get invited to a birthday party. Now, what you might say to yourself is, oh, that person doesn't like me. But that might not be the solution. In fact, there's probably a whole slew of solutions. Okay, so maybe the person had heard that you were going out of town, and they're like, this person isn't going to be here anyway, so I'm not going to send them an invitation. That could have happened. We don't know. Maybe the person was only able to invite 3 people, and so you didn't get invited. Maybe the person's parent said, you know what, well, I don't know that that's a good scenario. But anyway, I think you can see that there's different reasons that could be happening. The reason that we come up with first usually isn't the one that is really happening. Okay, so, because oftentimes we get our feelings hurt, and then the little voice inside of us goes to the worst possible reason why it could be happening. Now, let's give another example. Okay, so let's just say your husband likes to come in and throw his socks on the floor, and you've told him many times, hey hon, can you just put your socks in the hamper, right? And he doesn't, right? So there could be many different solutions, but probably one that many people might go to is, he doesn't love me. Maybe they go to, he doesn't respect me. Maybe they go to, he was brought up so horribly. Like, there's all different reasons, but maybe it has nothing to do with that. Maybe if the hamper was moved to a different place, maybe he would do it. Maybe it's just inconvenient. Maybe he's just tired. Maybe he likes his socks on the floor because then he could put them back on the next day. Like, maybe he likes to wear his socks 2 days in a row. Like, I don't even know. But what I'm saying is that there's a whole lot of reasons why someone might throw their socks on the floor instead of in the hamper. And a lot of it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with us, right? So let's start thinking, when we get our feelings hurt, let's start thinking, is there another reason that could explain this? Now, here's a really, really good example. I don't know if you're a mom or a dad and you have children or toddlers. Toddlers are especially prone to this. And your toddler is just out of sorts and just getting upset over very, very little things. So you could just think to yourself, my toddler is a brat. Or my toddler is power hungry, or my toddler has to have everything his own way or her own way. Or you could think to yourself, when's the last time my toddler ate? It's been a while since my toddler ate. Maybe my toddler's blood sugar is low, and that's why he seems to be so sensitive over things that he normally doesn't care about, right? So what I want us to do, it's called, well, people have lots of names for it, but in my mind, it's called giving people grace. What other thing could be happening and influencing why they're acting the way they are. Okay, and then so if the toddler is really acting the way it is, like lecturing the toddler or getting mad at the toddler or punishing the toddler, isn't going to do any good. What's going to do good is feeding the toddler. So let's try to be super open-minded. Let's try not to go to the hurt feelings as quickly. Let's try to give each other grace, and let's see what's really going on here, right? Okay, so thinking of things is in a different way. So, okay, here's another example of thinking of something in a different way. Okay, what about yourself? Now, I want us to all just pause for a minute and let's think of an area that might be sensitive to us. Maybe your house isn't clean and you don't like, or your house is more cluttered and you don't want people coming over to your, well, not that, anyway, you don't want people coming over to your house and seeing what it's like, even though they wouldn't be doing that because we're in the middle of a pandemic. But let's just say that, right? And then you think of, why is my house being dirty? Why does that make me feel so sensitive? Does that mean I'm not a good person? Does that mean I'm not a good wife or not a good mother? Can I still be a good wife and a good mother even if my house is cluttered? Like, let's start taking some things apart, especially when it comes to our sensitivities. Why am I sensitive to this? Is there another way of looking at myself? What type of paradigms am I buying into that I'm having this sensitivity? I sure hope you're following me on this, because I do feel like it's important. That if we're sensitive in a certain way, why? Why are we sensitive? Right? Do we have to be pretty to be loved? We don't. Do we have to be perfect to be loved? We don't. Do we have to be, I mean, you could probably name anything, and we don't. We don't have to be anything to be loved, right? God loves us as we are. Whether we're loved or not really has more to do with the other person and their capacity to love than it has to do with us. It does. So, again, that's just another thing that we can think about on how can we look at things differently. Okay, so I mentioned, sorry, I think I have a hair somewhere on my arm. Anyway, so I mentioned that we were going through this pandemic right now, right? And there are so many ways we can think of this. We can think of it as like it's a major hardship. We're all stuck at home. Maybe we're fighting with our family members, or we're missing our activities, or we're missing some of the income, or, you know, the list can go on why we could be grumpy and sad and fearful, right? Fearful that we're going to catch it, that our loved ones are going to catch it. The list can go on and on. But does it do any good? Like, I'm all about preparation and I'm all about protection. You know, let's stay home, let's wear masks, let's wash our hands, let's do all that, right? But past what we can do to prepare, can we not enjoy the gift that staying home with our family brings? We have more time with them. We get to connect with them on a whole lot more time at least. And if we take the time, we can connect with them on deeper levels. So I know that the pandemic is, doing a number on our economy and everything else, but there's other ways to think of it too. It's giving us the chance to slow down. It's giving us the chance to think about our priorities, think about what's most important in life. Anyway, I know the affirmation for today is I often turn things upside down to think about them differently. Okay, so, and I'm just presenting different things that you can think about differently if you want, and if you want to do the work. Does it take work to think about things differently? Yeah, it does. It takes being vulnerable. We have to think about, well, how were we thinking about that? We have to say, well, maybe that's not the right way. We have to, like, be vulnerable and open and authentic, and sometimes that can be scary, and even doing the hard work of putting ourselves in someone else's place. Okay, so that kind of leads me, to the very last thing that I want to talk about on when we're thinking about looking at things differently. And that is the Stephen Covey idea of that you should seek first to understand and then be understood. Now, am I perfect at everything I suggest to you? No, I'm not. I'm so human. I'm so human. I am, like, I think I just looked up to God thinking, Heavenly Father, you know how human I am and how flawed I am. But I try. Like, every day I try. And I try to get closer to seeking to understand before I'm understood. If we can help people feel like they're understood, then that just helps with the relationships. Maybe they'll be more willing to understand where we're coming from. Now, anyway, I've given you some examples on how to look at things differently. What do you feel like maybe that you want to look at differently? And whatever it is, whether it's your sensitivities, whether it's your relationships, whether it's past hurts, right? Whether it's seeking to be understood first or understand first. I think that as we look at things, as we're willing to be open-minded, and as we're willing to look at things differently, God can lead our perception to a place that is healthier and that will help ourselves and other people more. So I'm just saying, let's all be open-minded. Let's take the time and take the risk and be vulnerable to look at things in life a little bit differently. Okay, I hope that today, and you might even want to journal about this. You might just say, hey, where are my sensitivities? How can I look at them differently? Where are my troubles in my relationships? How can I look at things differently? Anyway, I hope that today that we can all look at things differently, and that tonight we can say, being open-minded helped me come to a happier place. Okay, so that's the affirmation for today. The song that I'm going to do for this affirmation for today is the song, I've looked at life from both sides now. I don't know who sings it, but I will definitely find it and post it in the comments. It talks about clouds and love and life. And so if you never, it's an oldie song. If you've never heard it, I think you're in for a treat, because it kind of shows us that there are more than one way. There is more than one way to look at things. Okay, so that's going to be my song for the day. The diffuser blend that we're diffusing is 2 drops of Roman chamomile, which is the oil of spiritual purpose, and 2 drops of ginger, which is the oil of empowerment, and 2 drops of lavender, which is the oil of communication and calm. Okay, so yesterday we talked about the emotional properties of Roman chamomile. Today we're going to be talking about the emotional properties of ginger. Now, as I'm studying about ginger and everything that I'm reading about ginger, it is, like yin yang, one's a soft energy, one's like a push energy, right? Ginger is definitely the push. It's that we are getting out there and we are making changes. Okay? So it's a very, very forceful essential oil to put on. And it's been used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years by people all over the world. So I'm just going to tell you really quick as I am introducing this to you, some of the people who have used ginger essential oil. Okay, so it's native to southern China and it has been used since 2000 BC, at least, as a medicinal and cooking herb. They usually use the ginger root, okay? And the Greeks, the Romans, and the ancient Romans and Turks used it historically. In Egyptian cuisine, it was used to ward off epidemics. The Romans used it in their wine for its aphrodisiac powers. The Indians used it from India, used it in their tea to help with upset stomachs, and the Chinese used it as a tonic to help strengthen the heart and relieve head congestion. In Hawaii, it was used to help scent clothes, and they like to use it in their cooking, and they used it as a cure for indigestion. And the Hawaiians also used it in their shampoos and in their massage oils. Now, on Friday, we're going to be talking about the physical properties and the benefits of ginger essential oil, but today we have the treat of talking about the emotional reasons why a person might want to use ginger essential oil. So remember, it's the yang oil. It's going to be the push oil. So it's going to help us move from apathy and get back into action. It helps with alertness. It helps with motivation. It helps us tap into our reserves of energy. It helps us to clear away the victim mentality. Now, some of us have a problem saying no, or some of us have a problem standing up for ourselves, and ginger essential oil can remind us, hey, you know what, this really is our life, and we should decide how to live it, and not let other people push us in ways or into things that we don't want to do, that we don't believe in, right? It is our life, and we only get one life. Stay true to you. Now, when I say stay true to you, I don't mean stay true to the you that wants to eat cake and lie on the bed all day and watch TV. No, I'm saying stay true to the best you, right? Stay true to the best you. Okay. Although sometimes lying around and watching TV, like, that can be refreshing, but just, like, not all the time, right? Okay, so ginger helps us to clear away victim mentality. It helps us feel empowered. It helps us take control. Remember, it's going to bring in that yang energy. It helps us to work harmoniously with people. It kind of can balance out the need to control and the being controlled, and help us remember that we need to work together. We all need to respect each other, and one person shouldn't be making all the decisions. Okay, letting that airplane just pass. Okay, it can help us. It can help give us courage and confidence. Some people might sometimes have just a general feeling of disconnectedness, and they don't want to engage, again, that apathy, and ginger essential oil can help bring it back, help remind them that, you know what, relationships are important, and yeah, it does take work to have good relationships. Help them want to reconnect, re-engage. I said them or him. I meant like all of us, okay? So if I say her or him, sorry, I really do mean like all of us. Okay. It can help us shake off the tendency to procrastination. It can help us want to tackle the hard tasks. It can strengthen the willpower, it can help activate our initiative, and help to restore our determination. So, is there something you don't want to do? I think if you're human, there's something probably that you probably, life would be better if you did, right? Whether it's apologizing for something, or mending some relationship, or taking your business to the next level, or whatever, cleaning that room that you like to shove everything into and just shut the door and hope that no one opens it. Whatever it is, there's something that you don't want to do that my best guess is that you have been avoiding. People tend to do that. People tend to procrastinate things and definitely put off things that they don't want to do. So here's my tip on that. When that's happening to you, right? Put some ginger essential oil into your diffuser. I might want to add a couple drops of lime. Lime's a very uplifting oil. Both of them are energizing, and it can help you as you're working through those things that you don't want to do. Do you have children right now that don't feel like doing their online school? Right? I'm just assuming that you're not usually homeschooling, and that your children are now doing the online school because they can't go to public school. Okay, put on some ginger, pop a couple of drops of lime in there and see if that doesn't change. Okay, so now again, though, if they were avoiding something because they had a lot of fear over it, I think that the diffuser blend for this week with the lavender and the Roman chamomile, which are such calming oils, would really help them say, okay, I can relax and let go of that fear. Yes, I can do this, right? Sometimes people don't do things because they're afraid of the failure. And if that's the reason they're not doing it, then I would go with this week's diffuser blend with the 2 drops Roman chamomile, 2 drops ginger, and 2 drops lavender. Again, because the Roman chamomile and lavender are so relaxing. Okay, here's something fun. Ginger essential oil is well known for increasing libido. It's a well-known aphrodisiac. So, just something for you. Okay. Because ginger is so yang, and it's so stop procrastinating, get out and do this. It's also really good at clearing out those misperceptions and those excuses. Like ginger, because it's so yang and it's so push, it's going to say to you, stop making the excuses. Yeah, those things that you keep calling reasons, those are excuses. Stop it. Okay? So just think of it as of ginger as one of those really tough coaches who is going to get you to the finish line, who's going to help you win the football game, whatever. Ginger, use it that way. Ginger is the push to where you want to be pushed. Okay? So, ginger is especially good for the individual that's usually dynamic but has lost their drive and ambition, has become apathetic and maybe even confused. I think with everything that's happening, there's a lot of people out there. This is super overwhelming. This pandemic is super overwhelming to a lot of people, right? Anyway, there are things that can help. Ginger can help relieve stress and can help bring forth feelings of courage and self-awareness. It can help eliminate self-doubt and fear. It can relieve feelings of anxiety and anxiousness and exhaustion and depression. It's a warming oil, so it can also help us get a better night's sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're just not on your game, right? You're just not. You need that good sleep to be functioning at your emotional and physical best, okay? Again, it can stimulate feelings of courage and ease. I don't even know how to say this, but in the Ayurvedic medicine, ginger oil is believed to treat emotional problems like fear, abandonment, lack of self-confidence, or motivation. 2 warnings about using a ginger essential oil is that it can make, just like a lot of your citrus oils like lemon, lime, bergamot, grapefruit, you don't want to put ginger on and then go out in the sun, because it can make you more sensitive, which means translates to you can get burned a little bit quicker. So if you're using ginger oil on part of your skin that would be showing if you went out, only use it at night, because then it has plenty of time to be absorbed in and you won't have that problem, or at least you shouldn't. Okay, and then because ginger is such a warming oil, you only, if you're going to be using it in the bath, in your bath water, which is fine, you just want to make sure you don't use more than 1 drop, because it can be a little bit too sensitive that way. So my suggestion is, if you're using it emotionally, I would be putting it in your diffuser. Anyway, so those are the top emotional benefits that I found on using ginger essential oil. I'm just reminding you again that the diffuser blend for the whole entire week is 2 drops rum and chamomile, 2 drops, which is the oil of spiritual purpose, 2 drops ginger, the oil of empowerment, and 2 drops of lavender, the oil of communication and calm. The song for today is I've Looked at Life from Both Sides Now. I think that's the title of the song. If not, I'll just go ahead and put that into the comments for you. And the affirmation for today is, I often turn things upside down to look at them differently. I love that I can be open-minded, and you can be incredibly open-minded. As we try to look at things differently, we can find the solutions that we're trying to find. And maybe that's one of the things that we can pray for too. Heavenly Father, can you please help me be open-minded? Help me look at things differently. Help me look at things through your eyes. I think that'd be an incredible prayer. Help me look at things today through your eyes, so I can get a better perspective on what's really going on. Okay. And the affirmation for the entire week is, I am discovering more humor. And again, I will put that little comedy show that I found in the comments. Whatever you're doing to bring more humor into your life, keep it up. Keep it up. Lightening the way, lightening the day helps everyone. Okay? You are doing awesome. You are doing great. You are doing better than you know. You are. I guarantee it. You are doing better than you know. Okay. This is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life, reminding us all that we have the incredible power with God to make it a great day. Bye-bye.